All right, I have a few disclaimers for you all. First and foremost, you're going to hear my dishwasher in the background. It is what it is. It's that time of day that I do chores and stuff, but I just want to get this video over with. So therefore, you're going to hear that dishwasher. It just is what it is. Second, you're going to hear my neighbors. They have various landscapers. You may or may not hear that. So all of the distracting noise, I apologize in advance. I played the music, right, and you saw the quote from Booker T. Washington that's about to come back on the screen. Before we get into this, I'm going to have imagery come up and you all are going to know exactly what I'm talking about. So let's get some things straight. I've already explicitly said how I identify. So this is my opinion about the state of what we call Black America. If you are a descendant of slaves or people who were here prior to the Atlantic slave trade, because there is evidence now that there may have already been black people here, and I'm open to that possibility. If you are either of those descendants, you either identify as ADOS, right? Which is American Descendant of Slaves, because ultimately we were all put in slavery anyway if you come from that lineage, or like myself, FBA, Foundational Black American. Okay. Those are the people who I'm mostly going to go after in this video today as my own people, the FBAs. If you are Black American, you were born here or came here after the slave trade. You are the descendants of people either from the Caribbean, Africa, or anywhere else in the diaspora, but you are not ADOS or FBA. So you are more Black American. African American is the old term used to express us as a people before FBA or ADOS, and some people still label themselves as African American. I would say that's more of people who are probably 50 plus years old right now. Will still use the term African American to mean descendants of slaves because they're still convinced that all of us came on boats. Some of us were brought on boats, but others probably came willingly. I'm still researching that, but as of now, we'll stick to the Atlantic slave trade method. So, I'll be the first to admit about the red balloon that I watched the show and I made comments, and it was a temporary thing for me. Chimed in like everyone else, not knowing or not realizing that the people who created that show are either born on the African continent or of African descent and don't carry the typical names or lineage that modern FBAs do. And let's pretend that this is not an issue because it is. So the article is about to come up. The red balloon has become so popular. Of course, I quit watching it. I don't watch the mess anymore. The red balloon has become so popular that it has now been picked up by Netflix to be hosted by a quote non-quote comedian, also with an African name. Before I go into my rant, please don't misunderstand me. I have nothing against Africans. I am even sub to some, because I don't let your race or skin color get in the way of things. I have no dislike for any race of people, but let's get something straight. Because I'm going after FBAs. You do understand that these people who don't have your last name and your culture are about to make bank off of you, right? Off of your minstrelsy, off of your ability to want and gain attention, off of your foolishness. Because a lot of people who go viral on this silly show, which is why I quit watching it, are FBA ADOS people. See, you live in the age now where it's not enough that people who are not of your race make their money off you. Now ones who look just like you and are trying to assimilate with you and pretend to assimilate with you, or trying to stay in this land or make their themselves noticeable in this land by making a fool of and making money off of you. You don't find it strange that the very people who put this show together themselves are happily married while making their money off of your chaos? And quit pretending that the fact that they have surnames that are not of this land has no relevance, because it does. Have we become such a pariah now, such a byword, that we're letting people who look like us, who pretend to assimilate with us, make our money? Make their money off of the backs of our talent and hard work? Because let's not be stupid. I've seen the show, because I don't like to criticize certain things before I look into it. And some valid points have been made about the gender war on that red balloon pop. But it's like some of y'all FBAs get off, and ADOS people get off on standing in a conga line and being somebody's clown for money. And I don't understand why. Because nothing about this show is going to benefit you other than notoriety and virality. Then you're going to make yourself a pariah. See, I know what's going to happen. Some of y'all are going to act like you've been jilted. You're going to come back 5 to 10 years from now. Oh, they humiliated us and made money off of us. No, y'all are standing in this conga line willingly making fools of yourselves. While people who look just like you and claim this is just entertainment are really doing the same thing and no different than the onset of Hollywood. Making money off of your ability to want attention. Your ability to continue minstrelsy in a time when you don't have to be a minstrel anymore. Then FBA ADOS people want to wait until somebody's unalive to then complain, oh my God, let's rally together. Just like this boycott, oh my God, let's boycott, like some of us hadn't already been supporting black businesses. Look, this is not a video where I'm saying that people who come at us, regardless if we intermarried each other or interracial marriage, this isn't a video about coming after us for the sake of coming after us, okay? Surely I'm not the only person that made this parallel that people who are now born in the United States or come from that continent, that don't have our culture, are getting their paycheck off of the backs of what we worked for. And the sad thing is, some of y'all will come and troll me and rationalize why this is okay. They'll even come, we can explain. You don't have to explain anything to me, because I blame FBA ADOS people for this. This to me isn't a good thing that this is going viral. To me, this is just deep fried foolishness, repackaged to go nationwide and make us look even dumber than a lot of people think we already are. And let's not pretend that doesn't matter. Because it's one thing that there are stereotypes out there about us as a group. It's a whole nother thing when you go and willfully want to get famous off of that stereotype. Get your 15 minutes, and then when it dies down, then what? Look, for myself, I've seen the show, so I'm not trying to be a hypocrite about it. Last year, I thought a lot of it was foolishness, but I got the gist. This gender divide, this gender war between the FBA ADOS male and woman is a real thing. Some of our people have strong, beautiful marriages. But more often than not, we don't. And there's a lot of animosity on both sides. However, this is still prepackaged foolishness that's just going to already add fuel to an already lit fire. It's not like the match is sitting there waiting to be lit. It was lit and the fire went off a long time ago. Is it going to continue? You know, when I was a little girl, they talked about Booker T. Washington every Black History Month and other people that we no longer name. As time has gone on, people know of Booker T. Washington, but they're not being taught this in school now. And you would say, what does that have to do with the red balloon? Everything. Because when I put that quote up, what I read from it was people who think they're helping you up and helping you actually play into your sabotage. Don't think for a moment if you're an FBA, you're about to make some huge residuals off of that airing on Netflix. Because the people who came up with that idea, again, who look just like you but are not of your culture, are the very ones who are about to make bank. Y'all need to get for real with all this minstrelsy. Because it's gotten ridiculous.